The Liberal Democrats face a singular and grave long-term challenge: the quest for relevance. It doesn't help the party that this year, while the Tories and Labour are planning big in-person jamborees as COVID subsides, the Lib Dem annual conference is an online-only affair. And while the return of the Commons is a boon for the other opposition parties, the Lib Dems are likely to struggle with visibility given they have only 12 MPs. However, it's not all bad news for the Lib Dems. The party enjoyed a shock triumph at the Chesham and Amersham by-election in June, overturning a whopping 16,000 Tory majority and showing that they can be a threat to the government.
It's a historic day for the Liberal Democrats. We showed that Boris Johnson could be beaten, and I think we put a smile on people's faces.
It provided a much-needed boost to the Lib Dems, and Sir Ed Davey and his colleagues now hope it will be the first in a series of yellow wins in the so-called blue wall across the prosperous south of England. Major factors in the Lib Dems' success in the seat included local opposition to the HS2 high-speed rail line, but also the government's controversial planning reforms, which paved the way for swathes of new homes being built in rural areas. The Lib Dems now hope that widespread anger about this housing policy in the south will help them win over former Tory voters. In recent weeks, the party has come out against the planned hike in national insurance contributions to fund the NHS and social care reform. They argued the manifesto-busting tax rise will hit hard-working families the hardest. In coming months, the Lib Dems are planning a blue wall campaign on the issue, involving leaflets, social media and visits from the party leader and other senior Lib Dems. In the run-up to the COP26 climate change summit this November, the party will also be pushing its long-standing green agenda. Unfortunately for the Lib Dems, however, environmental causes have become increasingly mainstream, and the government's own ambitious targets on cutting emissions, replacing gas boilers and banning fossil fuel cars will suck up most of the oxygen on this subject. Nor are the Lib Dems the foremost critics in this area. They insist Boris Johnson cannot be trusted on climate change.
They don't want you to know that Liberal Democrat green investment has translated into green wealth for our country. They'd rather slip the cash quietly into the Chancellor's wallet to pay for all their dodgy contracts. No. This green wealth doesn't belong to Rishi Sunak or the Tories. It belongs to the British people.
But the Green Party and protest groups like Extinction Rebellion are getting more airtime on green goals. Another area the party might have more success in campaigning against is vaccine passports. Here we see the Lib Dems' capital L liberal heritage coming to the fore.
Liberal Democrats are opposed to them. We think they're unworkable, we think they're unnecessary, we think they're illiberal, and we're very worried that the SNP and the Conservatives are sort of conspiring to bring in these ID cards by the back door.
Again, however, Tory infighting over the issue is likely to overshadow the opposition party's resistance to the policy. On top of that is the fact that, according to YouGov's latest polling in August, 60% of the public support the introduction of COVID certification at nightclubs and other venues with large crowds. The Lib Dems are also leaning into their tradition for championing civil liberties by opposing the government's elections bill. They've branded the proposal to force voters to show ID at polling booths a blatant assault on democratic rights. This could be an area in which the party can stand out. Overall, the Lib Dems are suffering from low visibility. There is a distinct absence of big beasts. There are no current frontline players to rival the likes of Paddy Ashdown, Charles Kennedy, Ming Campbell and Nick Clegg. When I asked a pollster last week about present leader Sir Ed Davey's favourability ratings, they laughed and shot back that it was hard to measure as he's so little recognised by the public. The shadow of the coalition years still hangs over the party, and it's a legacy that Sir Ed himself, who served in the cabinet as Energy Secretary, will always struggle to escape. The Lib Dems face a significant uphill battle in the months and years ahead if they are successfully to take votes off the Tories.